like to call to order the Westmont Village Board meeting on November 30th, 2023, to order at 6 o'clock p.m. and ask Clerk Simsky for roll call, please.
Mayor Gunther?
Here.
The clerk's here. Trustee Barker?
Here.
Trustee Brady?
Here.
Trustee Guzzo?
Here.
Trustee Little?
Here.
Trustee Nero?
Here.
Trustee Simonovich?
Here.
Attorney Zemanek?
Here.
Manager May?
Here.
Assistant Village Manager Parker.
Here. Would everybody please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to welcome everyone to tonight's meeting. The first item is our open forum, which if there's something that's not on the agenda you want to address the board, now's the time. If it's on the agenda, you'll have an opportunity to talk during that item. So seeing no open forum request, I'll close open forum and I'll move on to reports. My reports first, and I want to read a statement. The Village of Westmont is aware that a lawsuit has been filed regarding the accident that occurred earlier this year, resulting in the death of one of our employees. While the reality of this tragedy is recognized, due to the pending litigation, the village is unable to comment further on this topic at this time. So I just want to publicly state that. And my other item is holidays. The festival will begin December the 2nd, which is Saturday night with our Frosty and Friends Parade. And then we'll have our, at 4:30, Westmont High School Choir will be performing in Addington Plaza. And at 5 p.m., the Holidays Parade will begin. We'll travel south on Cass from Naperville Road, across the tracks, then head west on Quincy, right here in front of the Village Hall. And then we'll have a tree lighting ceremony as soon as the parade is over, about 5:45. And afterwards, everyone is invited inside. This is a new location, the Westmont train station, for pictures with Santa. And I'm hoping everyone can come out. The weather looks like it'll be warm as long as it doesn't rain. So everyone come out and enjoy. Clerk Simsky.
My report is village offices will be closed December 22nd and 25th for Christmas. Additional closures are listed on the village website.
Thank you. Trustee Little, Administration Finance.
Thank you, Mayor. We had a special Administration Finance Committee meeting this afternoon. We reviewed waste requests for proposals that have come through. We had many additional questions after these had been received. The questions were asked of all these vendors, potential vendors, and answered, and we're still ongoing with a little bit more information looking for that. Personnel policy update, we are looking at the paid leave for all workers, which was signed into act and takes effect in January of 2024. Quick note, we went through past due accounts receivable, and then we began a capital improvement plan review and then ran out of time. So that will be continued at one of the next meetings. Just so everyone knows, there's still time for businesses to sign up for the window mural program. Contact Westmont Special Events at 630-829-9378 for more information. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Well, thank you. And we'll turn to Trustee Nero, Public Works Committee.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. Just a couple items. Our next Public Works Committee meeting is December 28th, 4:30, right here at Village Hall. And just a reminder, the West Quincy Phase 2 Visioning Workshop is going to be next week. This is for all specific stakeholders and the public at large to come and participate in this visioning workshop to kind of share your thoughts and what you think it potentially could look like. That's right here at Village Hall, December 7th, 4:30 p.m. Hopefully you can make it. And last but not least is brush pickup. Just a reminder that the free brush pickup ends on Friday, December 15th. So please check with the village website if you have any additional questions, but it's great to take advantage of. And that's all I have, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Simonovich, Police Public Safety Committee.
Thank you, Mayor. The next meeting for the Police Public Safety Committee will be on January 25th at 4:30 PM in this room. See it, report it. We just reissued a reminder to all of our citizens that if you are witnessing an emergency or a crime, or even if you just see something suspicious, never hesitate to call 911. Every second counts when responding to an emergency. Warming centers, with colder weather approaching, the village has published updated information on our website regarding warming centers in Westmont, which provides a safe location for people to go and stay warm if needed. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Trustee Johanna Guzzo, Fire Public Safety.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our next Fire Public Safety Committee meeting is December 14th, 4:30 here at the Village Hall. Everyone is invited to attend. And then the holiday fire safety and keep the wreath red. This is something that's near and dear to my heart. Once again, the fire department is reminding residents to keep the wreath red this holiday season. Information regarding this program and holiday fire safety tips have been published on the website. Thanksgiving was one of the top 3 holidays for reported home fires, so it's important for people to be vigilant. And with the Christmas season coming up, let's hopefully keep all of those red bulbs in the wreaths that are at Station 1 and Station 2 red, because if there is a fire that's caused by Christmas decorations, a red bulb will be taken out and a white one will be put in. So please, I ask for everybody's help, and let's keep those wreaths red. And thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Trustee Brady,
Thank you,
Community.
Mr. Mayor. Regarding the Downtown Development Committee, the next meeting is February 8th at 4:30 PM at the Village Hall. Regarding the Downtown Incentive Program, reminder that the application window for the Downtown Incentive Program remains open through Friday, December 8th, after which time applications will only be accepted if funding remains available. Next planning and zoning meeting is scheduled for December 13th. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. And Trustee Barker, Environmental Improvement Committee and Westmont First.
Thank you, Mayor. The EIC will meet next Monday, December 4th, 5:30 here in Village Hall. Currently, we have the Holiday Lights Recycling, the collection boxes for the Holiday Lights Recycling Program are in place at the Westmont Library and the Johannic Fire Station. That collection will continue through the end of January. We'll have at the EIC, I thought it was a repeat, but at the EIC meeting on Monday, we'll have a guest speaker from Clark Mosquito to address us on the mosquito control program and products that we use here in Westmont. That is all, Mayor. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Before we move on, the parade's coming down Quincy, and there's no more barricades up. The sidewalk's open, so people can come and look at it and enjoy. It's cross street from where the tree lining will be. Moving on, does the board have anything they'd like removed from the consent agenda? Seeing none, I'd ask Manager May to please read.
Well, there are only 2 things on the consent agenda, so that was good news. First is village board meeting minutes. Board to consider approving the minutes of the following board meetings. Joint meeting of the Westmont Park District Board of Commissioners held on November 8, 2023, and then the village board meeting that was held on November 16th, 2023. We have finance ordinance number 16 in the amount of $1,812,820.88, and there are no individual purchase orders this evening, so that's the entire consent agenda.
Have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Hero.
Motion made and second. Any comments, questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Little,
Yes.
Trustee Brady,
Yes.
Trustee Simonovich,
Yes.
Trustee Barker,
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo,
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll move on to new business. A, rezoning and special use permit for 1010 Van Industrial Mariani Landscape. Board to consider ordinance approving request by Amalfi Properties, the owner, and Mariani Enterprises regarding the property at 1000 and 1010 Industrial Drive for the following. 1, map amendment to rezone from M Manufacturing District to M1 Limited Manufacturing District. And 2, special use permit and associated site plan for accessory outdoor storage for a landscaping contractor's office in the M1 Limited Manufacturing District. Community Development Director Pollock.
Thank you, Mayor and trustees. On November 8th, the Planning and Zoning Commission held a public hearing to consider this matter. The request is for rezoning of a property located at 1000 and 1010 Van Industrial Drive, as well as a special use and site plan approval for accessory outdoor storage for a landscape contractor's office. The property is located at the corner of William Street and 61st Street with frontage on Van Industrial Drive. It's at the edge of a manufacturing industrial district with residential to the north and to the west. The Planning and Zoning Commission considered these matters at their meeting on November 8th and recommended approval of the rezoning and of the special use for this business. The outside storage is to accommodate storage of landscaping materials in the yard at the property. There were several residents in attendance at that hearing. I think some of them are here tonight. The applicant is also here tonight, and the Plan Commission did recommend approval subject to several special conditions which attempted to address the concerns of the neighbors regarding odors and the outside storage, and as well as the installation of buffering landscaping along 61st Street intended to buffer the manufacturing or industrial land use. You have more information in your backup materials for tonight. I'd be happy to answer any questions regarding the Planning and Zoning Commission's
I have a
recommendation.
question. Number one, what type of canopy are you putting in? There's 3 different type of canopies? The one that's curved, is that gonna be metal or?
There's canvas canopies, I
Canvas?
understand, but that'd be better answered by the applicant. They can,
The diagram shows there's 3 types.
Right.
One will be a canvas, and then it shows a barrel type. Okay. The other question is, they're gonna put in trees also to block part of this, block the appearance of the lot? Is that gonna be done next spring?
yes, that would be
Okay.
the intention, is to do it next spring, yeah.
Okay.
You know, I think at this point, we should ask the owner, the applicant, to come up to the podium and maybe give us some additional information about it, and then I'll open it to the floor.
Good evening, Mayor, trustees. My name is Walter Roach. I am the owner of 1000 and 1010 Van Industrial Drive. With me is Nate Birch, who is with Mariani Landscaping, and he can probably discuss a little bit more of the use and how the canopy would be used.
Yeah, good evening. Our plan is to store mulch and soil in that domed sort of structure, which would be a canvas top, 3-sided, to try to trap any odors or things like that that might escape, and cut down to minimize the concerns of the residents. There's also a temporary shade structure, that sort of flat-topped looking piece that's on the photos that you guys have. That is a seasonal thing, just to help protect flowers and things like that, that we would take down in the winter.
Use the word concerned. Are the residents in the area, are they aware of this, what you're doing? You said,
Yes, they were at the hearing on the 8th,
I see.
and we've discussed and heard their concerns, which we obviously take, very seriously. We want to be good stewards of the community and good neighbors.
right.
And part of the reason for us coming through and doing this process is to do it the right way and to make sure that everybody knows what's going on, full transparency, and hopefully that we can run our business the
yeah,
way
the
that we
residents
need
know you're already there. You've been there several years. Is there any objection on certain things you're doing there?
to. The biggest objection from the residents has really come from some of the odors. Leaf mulch in particular is mulch that we use primarily in the residential landscape service that we provide. We have demonstrated over the past 2 years, it's well documented, that we've minimized a lot of those concerns under my management, because we do want to be good neighbors,
Right.
and we do take that seriously.
Mulch is only, it's part of spring, that's part of vegetation. Or no, it's only there for a short time anyway, so.
Correct.
Yeah, I think that's important. It's a seasonal process. It's usually April, May.
Right,
and then-
sure,
yes.
a short period of time.
The other issue beyond the leaf mulch was the grass clipping waste, which we have a plan to minimize that we've been actually implementing over those last 2 years, which has cut down on a lot of those odors coming out of the yard, and that is to put it in dumpsters, cover it in the evenings and over the weekends, and have that hauled out on a frequent basis 2 to 3 times per week to just help minimize some of that as well. So we're trying to do the best we can to really help all that out.
From what I understand from planning and zoning and from the comments you had, those conditions, some of those conditions were added to, like removal of the mulch within 4 hours and stuff from the residents, right?
Yeah, the planning commission made some recommendations to help, which we have agreed to.
Well, at this point, we'll open it up for public comment. If you want to comment on this, I'll let the residents come up now. You state your name and address, and you can address the board if you're commenting about this applicant.
Hi, my name is Patty Desmond. I live at 328 Cromwell Court. We're fine with the special conditions as long as the ones that were discussed are in place. The biggest problem for us was the grass clippings and the fact that they just sat out in piles of water and things, and to the point we couldn't keep our windows open or have parties or anything in our backyard. The last 2 years, they've done a good job of that, and we just wanted to make sure that there were certain conditions put into place to make sure that it's a win-win for both of us. We can enjoy our patios, have our windows open, and they can run their business. So it sounds like they're going to do that, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else who'd like to? No, then I'd entertain a motion to approve as presented.
Motion to approve, Barker.
Second, motion made and second. Additional comments? Trustee Barker.
It was very nice to hear that the business is working with the neighborhood there to make it a win for both places. And I do hope that they continue doing what they're supposed to do. If they don't, call us.
Yeah.
But it's nice when that works out that way.
Thank you. Any other comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Barker,
Yes.
trustee Guzzo,
Yes.
trustee Nero,
Yes.
trustee Brady,
Yes.
trustee Little,
Yes.
trustee Simonovich.
Yes.
Motion passes. And again, I thank the P and Z for all their work to bring this to this point. So we'll move on to new business B, reduce and increase available Class 8 and Class 23 liquor license. Board to consider ordinance reducing and then increasing the number of available Class 8 and 23 liquor license for Westmont Uptown Incorporated at 12 and 14 West Burlington Avenue in Westmont due to an ownership change. 1, reduce the number of available Class 23 and Class 8 liquor license by 1 due to the change of ownership of Westmont Uptown Incorporated. 2, increase the number of available Class 8 liquor license by 1 for the new owner of Westmont Uptown Incorporated. And 3, increase the number of available Class 23 video gaming liquor license by 1 for the new owner of Westmont Uptown Incorporated. And I've got Deputy Liquor Commissioner Mulhorn.
Good evening, Mayor. With me at the podium is Jeremy Blair, who is the applicant for taking over the Westmont Uptown Inc., known as the Uptown. Jeremy has worked as a general manager for the Uptown for about the last 6 years, so he's familiar with its operations. In my interviews with him, I told him that he's going to have to be able to address some of the board's concerns about the past activities and what has gone on there in the past. I will say that since Jeremy has taken over most recently, where he's become doing more of the day-to-day operations than he has in the past, I have seen an improvement, as well I believe the police department has too. that their employees are calling the police more now to address the situation before it gets out of control. And he's been well to work with. Every restriction or every instruction we've given him, he's done. Every requirement he's done for other special events and everything, he has done. And we've had a good relationship with Jeremy and the village. As the mayor listed, he's asking for the Class 8 liquor license, which allows him to continue serving alcohol as it has in the past. And he's also asking for a continuation of the Class 23 liquor licenses. And the Class 23 allows him to have video gaming on site, which Uptown has had for several years. If this is granted to him, he does still have to get a state of Illinois gaming license through the state, and he's working on that as well. He does not foresee any problems because he's actually on the license for the state as it is now. In speaking with the liquor commissioner, the mayor, he is in favor of issuing this license after tonight, depending on what the board recommends. And my background review indicates that both Jeremy and Westmont Uptown Inc. are eligible to receive a liquor license. With that, I'll let Jeremy take over and let him address, and then we'll answer some questions. I think I'm going to answer a question now.
Well, no, the conditions we're going to apply to it, some recommendations.
Yes. The mayor is allowed as liquor commissioner to add restrictions or requirements on a liquor license. We have about 8 things I was just going over before this meeting with Jeremy. He's aware of them. He has no objection to any of them. And a lot of them have the use of the property. The main one, which the mayor is requiring him to do, is relocate his smoking area from the front of the business to the back of the business. And he can use one of the parking spaces or whatever there to do that. Tonight also, in talking with the police chief and I believe one trustee, that the condition of the alley they've received and personally observed is terrible due to the amount of cigarette butts, that it's really bad. So Jeremy says they go out once a week he has a person go out once a week and clean that area. I suggested he increases that to a daily type thing, and he's agreeable to that. And then as relocating, we require signage and outdoor type of cigarette butt receptacle. There's many that can be out there, rather than just a flat bowl that's going to fill with water and look disgusting after a while. As far as if there's any increase in noise from the residents or anything from his customers out there, he understands that he's responsible for that. And not, I can't say, well, you made me move it, it's your problem. No, he understands he's responsible. And the last one is, when the mayor does liquor hearings, we go back for the last 5 years for violations with the business. But however, if there's a change in ownership, we start there. So he starts with a slate clean. Since Jeremy has been there for the last 6 years, the liquor commissioner is going to go back the same 5 years, so Jeremy understands that. So if there were to be a violation, and hopefully there isn't, but if there were to be a violation in the future, we go back to the past 5 years for previous violations, and that is taken into consideration. The mayor issues a fine, or it may issue a suspension or something like that, and Jeremy is aware of that as well, too. There's other conditions in there which pertain to the operation, but those are the main ones which we wanted the board to know.
And there's some complaints in the past, and I think they've done a good job of keeping the door open when there's entertainment, the noise, and
Jeremy asked me, because one of the complaints I heard that there was a concern by one elected official that they prop their door open in the summertime, and then you can see straight through, you hear things, it just was not leaning to a good environment or a good look in to that business. Jeremy talked tonight, he's would a black screen door or something where they could get an airflow, but prevent people from looking inside, be acceptable. I told him I'd let him present that tonight rather than me.
Mayor, I got 2 questions.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming there's no ventilation system in there if we're opening doors?
There is.
There is one?
There is. We have central air and central heat.
Okay. And then the video gaming, is that a year from now as a new owner, or is that, to get the video gaming license, is that a year waiting?
No. Back in
Unless it's
January, the
existing.
board, we took a pause last year. We put a moratorium. and then we revamped our ordinances. In the Class 23 license descriptions, I think you should have, the board took that into consideration. If it's an existing business with the same motif, not changing the method of operation of business, they no longer have to wait the 365 days. The reason for that was you have it now, it's existing, you have a customer base for that. Now you're going to take it away and make them come back. It was decided that no. So in the downtown business district, current businesses that are existing, that have the gaming license, are eligible, if the new owner chooses to do so, can apply for the Class 23 without the 365-day waiting.
If they don't change the business at all.
Right. If he were to come and say Uptown's now going to be a restaurant, then he would have to wait the 365 days.
Yeah. And you're a first-time owner now?
Correct.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Come on up.
Want to introduce yourself and what your plans are, please?
Thank you, Tom.
No problem.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, trustees. My name is Jeremy Blair. Like Tom Mulhern had mentioned, I've been the general manager there for the last 3 years, been an employee for the last 6. Now it's kind of taking that next step of the current owners are looking to retire, and I would like to purchase the Uptown with the liquor license Class 8 and Class 23 and keep doing business as the Westmont Uptown Inc. as it has been. No specific changes to day-to-day operations, but the one thing I would like to address is specifically more so dispelling all previous conceptions of what goes on there, any negative connotations with that establishment, with that property, anything like that. And like Tom had mentioned, I appreciate you seeing the difference over the last few years that we've been working well with the police department, that there are less calls, but more calls from our staff to address a problem before it escalates, before it becomes a bigger problem that it needs to be. And regarding those restrictions that Tom had mentioned, that the mayor had mentioned regarding cigarette butts, the smoking area, the door being open, we already have plans in the process of remedying those and really adhering to whatever the village would like us to do to make sure that those problems are not recurring and are no longer problems going forward. If you have any questions about those specific restrictions that were brought up, if you could please address them, I would love to answer any questions.
I do have to say, but based on our liquor license ordinance, they have to get approval for any music and entertainment, and there's certain requirements when they need to stop. And so we've addressed that in our ordinance. Trustee Brady.
Jeremy,
Yes.
we both know there's a difference between managing and being ownership. It's a new ballgame now, you're the owner.
Yes.
Several years ago, not too many years ago, the village invested a nice alley there, paved alley, and there's a term they have in the U.S. Army called police call. That place needs a police call in the alley because people are dropping butts and it looks terrible as far as I'm concerned. So I would say the village is going to enforce, we're going to enforce that. So you said, you stay here tonight and said you're going to clean the place up.
Yes.
I believe you. Now you're the owner. You want to set the example. In the past, that was a poor example.
Yeah.
So I wish you the best.
Yes, very much. Thank you. Regarding those cigarette butts, we do have someone coming in once a week. We can definitely up that to multiple times a week or daily, whatever it will take. And regarding those more open-faced ashtrays, which can be more of an eyesore, Tom Mulhern had suggested one of those, more so those post ashtrays, just conceal the site of it a little bit more and have multiple ones of those, plus the cleaning. That problem should be remedied almost immediately.
In my conversation with the police chief earlier today, he has personally seen it as well and described it as you did, disgusting. He will have staff keep an eye on it. With it becoming part of the liquor license restriction, if it does continue again, usually with the littering would not be well enough, it can now become a liquor license violation and he'll be brought in front of the liquor commissioner and addressed that way. If he gets a lot of these, his license is in jeopardy.
Additional questions?
Just a comment. What a cool story. Worked there for 6 years, became the GM 3 years ago, and now you own the place. Good for you, man.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you
pretty
very
cool.
much. I appreciate that.
That's something to be proud of. That's awesome.
And no other questions? Anybody in the audience? What I need is 2 motions. The first one to reduce the number of available Class 23 and Class 8 liquor license by 1 due to a change of ownership of Westmont Uptown Incorporated. Do I have a
Motion to approve Guzzo.
Second, Nero.
motion made and second? Comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Simonovich.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
And the second motion will include number 2 and 3, which is increase the number of available Class 8 liquor license by 1 for the new owner of Westmont Uptown Incorporated, and increase the number of available Class 23, which is our video gaming liquor license, by 1 for the new owner of Westmont Uptown Incorporated. Do I have a motion to make that?
Motion to approve Guzzo.
Second, Nero.
Motion made and second. Any additional questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Simonovich.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Again, you've been in town, but welcome again. So
Thank you
now-
very much.
All right, thank you.
Have a good evening.
Mayor, if I can make one correction, sorry, so that I don't, be very short, so that I don't disparage someone, is the chief public safety officer, not the chief of police.
Did he
Otherwise-
text you?
Otherwise, I'm in trouble driving home tonight.
Well, thank you. Thanks for clarifying that. All right, thank you. We'll move on to new business C, outdoor dining on public sidewalks. Board to consider ordinance amending Chapter 22 of the municipal code to create business licensing regulations for outdoor dining on public sidewalks. And community, should I say acting community development director Pollock?
That works.
All right.
Thank you, Mayor and trustees. You'll recall on November 2nd at the Community Development Committee meeting, we presented to you draft regulations for outdoor dining in the public right-of-way. This is primarily to accommodate the new Quincy streetscape. It would apply to anyone wishing to use the public right-of-way or public sidewalks for outdoor dining, any restaurant. The municipal code amendment would establish a license procedure for outdoor dining in the public right-of-way. It includes regulations for the location, the size, materials, furniture, hours of operation, maintenance of the area, as well as insurance and indemnification for the village's benefit. The only substantive change that was made post-CDC meeting and at the direction of the CDC was to make the enclosure or the railing that would surround a restaurant's outdoor seating area, to make that optional, not required. But if if a restaurant does want to provide a railing, it would be as per specification provided by the village, so that all of the edges, or if there are railings or enclosures, they would all look the same, so to create a little bit of uniformity if there's more than one restaurant choosing to enclose their dining area. As I said, the draft includes all the regulations. It does require an annual business license. It has to be renewed every year, and presumably someone who renews it, unless they're making a change, it'll be a simple process, but they would have to come in and renew it. I would also note that during the off-season, the furniture has to be removed and stored away. And again, there's plenty of maintenance restrictions in there. You've seen that, this is the second time you've seen this, so I won't go into a lot of detail unless you want more details, but I'd be happy to answer any questions that the board may have.
Questions? Evidently, the first tables will probably go on Quincy because it's just expanded, it makes sense, right? Two things, that the street's been under construction for many months, yet one business went out of business for another reason. Then he had the other two businesses, they had limited people coming in because of the construction. And I say you're gonna charge a license fee of $50 first of all, just to be the business. And then you're going to charge $5 for each seat. So let's say you had an average of 6 tables. It's going to cost them $120 to put 6 tables out there, plus the $50 charge. That's $170. I think that's pretty heavy to have a business. First of all, they couldn't do too much this past couple of years because of construction. So here we're going to give them a charge now. I just think there should be a leniency for maybe for 12 months till the street is, next summer or something like that, then impose. And even if they did it, you did impose that, it's a pretty busy, I think it's too heavy to charge a business that much. Are other towns charging that much also?
Downers is a lot more, Frank. Downers is like thousands of dollars for their patio permit. And you got to get a bond, it gets inspected. I mean, it's a pretty nasty process.
We had previously talked about the options to waive that to help get this going. Where did that end up?
I want to just add to that same comment that the policy, I mean, you're looking at Quincy Street, and we're all looking at Quincy Street because this is where we want to first apply it, but it's written to apply everywhere. So it's written to fix all. On this block, at the committee meeting, it was, asked that the fee be waived for the reasons that you decided. It was brought up last time too, and we can do that, but instead of written as a waiver there, we were just going to make it part of we were also making money available to initiate furniture purchases that, that are more appealing to us and the look on the block, and we would just apply this fee to that grant initially. And then it would only apply to the people on Quincy Street and, effectively get to the same place.
So after the first year, they'd have to pay.
Yeah, because we do have to, review it. I mean, there's administrative costs with it. And by doing it annually, it allows us to take a closer look at the parts we didn't like, how it turned out, the previous year.
And the renewal fee after the first year is a flat fee of $50. There's no per chair fee to renew.
But in what we have tonight, there is nothing about the additional monies or anything.
No, that would be included in the grant part that isn't really written yet. I mean, you can just make that as part of the motion, that there's no problem with that.
But again, I think manager explained, this is throughout town. And I know the whole board said to waive it the first year. So either you put that stipulation in it now for Quincy, or we do it when we have the grant program for
But
them.
you have to say that it's for Quincy.
Quincy
If you
only.
just say you're going to waive it for the first year, then we're going to have 100 applications up and down Cass Avenue that we're going to have to deny, and we're not charging them for it. So the charging is not, I don't know, it's just to take the application seriously, not so much, it's not revenue. So I think we agree, if we limit it to the businesses impacted by construction on this block, that's easy to accommodate.
Also point out, it was mentioned there's no enclosure requirement for businesses, but the local liquor commissioner does have the ability to require an enclosure if he's concerned about alcohol leaving the licensed premises, and any such demand by the local liquor commissioner would get processed through community development as to the proper type of enclosure needed.
Right now, there's no intent to do that. So,
Just the ability.
again, if you approve it without any waiving, that waiving would be done when we provide a grant to buy their own tables and chairs and stuff. We plan on having that available to them, or you can add that Quincy Street right now would be waived the first year. So I'll entertain a motion to,
First, you want
Outdoor
to
dining.
approve as written, and then we can
well,
amend it if we
yeah,
want.
or do you amend it right away?
You know what, I would recommend voting on it as written, and then if someone wants to make a standalone motion that businesses on the first year fee, license fee for businesses on Quincy Street shall be waived by the village, then do that as a standalone.
Okay. So then I'm looking for a motion to approve the ordinance amending Chapter 22. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Barker.
Motion been made in second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Little,
Yes.
trustee Brady,
Yes.
trustee Simonovich,
Yes.
trustee Barker,
Yes.
trustee Guzzo,
Yes.
trustee Nero.
Yes.
Motion passes. Would you like to make a,
I will make a motion to amend to waive the first-year fee for the businesses on Quincy.
do I have a second?
Second?
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded to waive the first year
Who made
fees.
this? Thank you.
Any comments, questions? Roll call, please.
Trustee Simonovich,
Yes.
trustee Little,
Yes.
trustee Brady,
Yes.
trustee Guzzo,
Yes.
trustee Barker,
Yes.
trustee Nero.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. Moving on. New business D, proposal for remodeling work at 6015 South Cass, the Fire Department. Board to consider an ordinance approving a proposal and addendum with Albright Building Incorporated for remodeling work to 2 bathrooms located in the Fire Department, 6015 South Cass Avenue. Chief Riley.
Thank you, Mayor. 2 bathrooms at Fire Department headquarters are in need of remodeling. Proposals were received from 3 contractors. Albright's proposal for $47,940 was the lowest. It's about a $12,000 under budget. Responsible proposals received for this work. Albright has also performed similar remodeling work at other fire village buildings.
Trustee Brady.
Very quick. Several months ago, you still had the railings were back ordered. Was that ever put in?
So the railings on the concrete, for the new concrete was put in. There are no railings in the budget dollars to go down the ramp. Amy and the police chief and myself just did a walkthrough of fire department this week, and we will present something to you further in about a month.
But that wasn't part of the original contract.
That was not,
Oh, I
just
didn't
the
know that.
sidewalk railing that goes from the parking lot up to the front door, not the lower level ramp. Was not part of that proposal.
Was that the police chief, or was it the public safety and police chief that did that?
Sure.
All right.
It's hard for me to get used to his new title back there.
Oh,
I just call him boss.
Yeah. Can I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve Guzzo.
Second, Little?
Motion made and seconded. Additional comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo,
Yes.
trustee Simonovich,
Yes.
trustee Barker,
Yes.
trustee Nero,
Yes.
trustee Little,
Yes.
trustee Brady.
Yes. Motion passes. New business E, DuPage County NHMP resolution. Board to consider resolution adopting the 2023 DuPage County multi-jurisdictional natural hazard mitigation plan. Chief Riley.
Thank you, Mayor. The village has adopted this natural hazard mitigation plan each year. The village has participated in the development and updated the 2023 plan. Approval of this plan demonstrates a commitment to hazard mitigation and achieving the 2023 plan goals. And this is filed every year with DuPage County.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Nero.
Motion been made and seconded. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Little,
Yes.
trustee Simonovich,
Yes.
trustee Brady,
Yes.
trustee Nero,
Yes.
trustee Guzzo,
Yes.
trustee Barker.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business F, the settlement agreement. Board to consider an ordinance approving a settlement agreement. We need to postpone this per the attorney, so I need a motion to postpone this to a future meeting.
Time uncertain.
Pardon?
Time uncertain, yes.
Time uncertain, so
Motion to,
Motion to postpone?
second, Nero.
motion made in second.
I'm sorry, who made?
Amy.
Amy?
Yes,
Okay,
me.
thank you.
Roll call plan. Who seconded it?
Steve did.
Nero.
Nero, okay. Thank you. Trustee Simonovich,
Yes.
trustee Little,
Yes.
trustee Brady,
Yes.
trustee Nero,
Yes.
trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business G, surplus property from the Public Works Department. Board to consider an ordinance declaring the attached inventory list of vehicles and equipment which are outdated, non-functioning, replaced, or otherwise not economically maintainable as surplus property. Director Reese.
So on the list before you tonight, there are 11 vehicles and 8 pieces of miscellaneous equipment And we would like authorization to dispose of this in appropriate manner decided by the village manager, which typically is an auction.
And where's the auction? Do we do it
It's like-
online? Online?
It's like, yeah, I couldn't remember the name, but thank you.
We used to have to drive them somewhere, right?
That was some time ago, but
Yeah,
yes.
well, was that yesterday? All right. Do I have a motion to declare surplus?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second.
Motion been made second. Any additional comments? Roll call, please.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Simonovich?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. Miscellaneous, anybody have anything to add other than the parade on Saturday? Please attend. I do need to go in executive session, and the motion needs to be to discuss the following topics. One, the appointment, employment, compensation, or performance of specific employees pursuant to Section 2C1 of the Open Meetings Act, and two, pending litigation involving the village and the following parties pursuant to Section 2C11 of the Open Meetings Act. A, Illinois OSHA, B, Tomax Tree Service, and C, the estate of Hayden. Do I have a motion to that effect?
Motion to approve. Guzzo.
Any second to go?
Second.
Second, Barker.
Barker?
Sure.
Yeah, sure,
Second,
yeah.
okay.
Motion been made and second to go in executive session for those reasons. Roll call, please.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Simonovich?
And again, when we come out, there will not be any further business, and I will adjourn the meeting, but right now we're going in executive session. Thank you.